Hi y'all. Welcome back to Bella's Book Burrow. Today, I want to talk about a book that made me believe that maybe starting over isn't such a bad thing after all. That book is All Rhodes Lead Here by Mariana Zapata. This book made me laugh, it made me giggle, and yes, it definitely made me a little angry at times. But I think that is because, somewhere along the way, I fell so deeply in love with these characters that I genuinely cared about what happened to them. And honestly, I think that's one of the best things a book can do. All Roads Lead Here is a story about starting over, finding yourself again, and slowly building the life that you actually want. It's about leaving behind what no longer serves you and figuring out who you are when you finally get the chance to start fresh. And I loved it. I really, really loved it. This has become one of my favorite Mariana Zapata books, and I can absolutely see myself rereading it again and again. The story follows Aurora, who's starting over and trying to rebuild her life. And I have to say, I absolutely adored Aurora. She made me so happy. She has this really fun, bubbly personality, but she's also incredibly respectful and genuinely sweet. I loved her sense of adventure and the way she approaches life. When I picture Aurora in my head, I honestly imagine her with this constant little smile on her face. She just has this energy that makes you want to spend time with her. And I really enjoyed watching her find her place and figure out what she wanted from her life. There is something so satisfying about reading about a character who is rebuilding themselves and slowly becoming more confident in who they are. I think that's one of the reasons this book resonated with me so much. Aurora isn't perfect, and she doesn't have everything figured out. But she keeps going. She tries new things, she puts herself out there, and she starts creating a life that feels like her own. And then, of course, we have Rhodes. Now, I absolutely adored the male main character. He has that perfect combination of grumpy but secretly caring, which, let's be honest, is one of my favorite romance tropes. He can be grumpy and intimidating, but underneath all of that, there is this caring side that slowly starts to show itself. And I loved getting to see those little moments where you realize that there is actually so much more to him than what he initially lets people see. I also really appreciated that he is an older man. I think the maturity of his character really comes through in the story. There is something about having characters who are older and a little more experienced with life that I really enjoy. The relationship feels different because these characters have already lived through things, made mistakes, and experienced life before they met each other. And I think that adds another layer to the romance. The relationship between Aurora and Rhodes is also very much a slow burn. And if you know me, you know that slow burn romances are basically my weakness. I love the anticipation. I love watching two people slowly get to know each other and gradually become important to one another. I love all those tiny moments that seem insignificant at first, but eventually start to mean so much. And Mariana Zapata is just so good at making you wait for it. There's something incredibly satisfying about finally seeing all that tension and build-up pay off. Another character I really loved was Amos. Amos was just such a sweetie. I really liked the way he was integrated into the story because he didn't feel like a character who was simply there in the background. His presence added another layer to the story and helped make the world around Aurora and Rhodes feel more alive. I enjoyed the relationships and connections that developed around him, and I think he brought a lot of warmth to the story. He was one of those characters who made me smile whenever he appeared, and I really enjoyed seeing how he fit into Aurora's new life. And honestly, this entire book made me want to completely change my lifestyle. I wanted to go hiking. I wanted to find waterfalls. I wanted to go swimming in a waterfall. I wanted to move somewhere surrounded by nature and just start over. There is something about the atmosphere of this book that made me want to get outside and experience the world a little more. It has this feeling of adventure and new beginnings that I absolutely loved. And I think that's another reason why I have reread this book. There are certain books that you read once and enjoy, and then there are books that you find yourself wanting to return to because you miss the characters and the feeling they gave you. For me, All Roads Lead Here is definitely one of those books. I also just have to say that I love Mariana Zapata's books. I have read quite a few of them now, and I think her slow burn romances just work so well for me. I love the way she takes her time with relationships and allows her characters to really get to know each other. So, if you enjoy slow burn romance, grumpy characters who secretly have hearts of gold, stories about starting over, and romances that take their sweet, sweet time to develop, I definitely think All Roads Lead Here is worth checking out. This is one of my favorites from Mariana Zapata, and I definitely hope to review more of her books here because I have read quite a few of them already. I think there is something really special about finding a book that makes you laugh, makes you angry, makes you fall in love with the characters, and ultimately makes you want to reread it. And for me, All Roads Lead Here is exactly that kind of book. So if you're looking for a story about starting over, finding yourself, building a new life, and maybe falling in love along the way, this one might be for you. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope I'll see you in the next one. Bye.